The Dennis Miller Show.
Joining us now, this is Mike Prell. His new book is Underdogma: How America's Enemies Use Our Love for the Underdog to Trash American Power. Mikey.
Dennis.
Now, did you have that word first and wrote a book off it, or what was the book about originally in your head?
It was about this, and I didn't think it was deep enough for a whole book until I got into it. And it touches on a lot of things. It actually touches on what you said yesterday. I mean, you were talking about America being the alpha dog. And you're right. I mean, America is the alpha dog. It's the shining city. It's the most powerful country in the world. And in your eyes and in my eyes, that's good. But in the eyes of those who practice Underdogma, that's bad. Do you mind if I just define it for your audience?
I need you to.
All right.
Define it for me.
Absolutely. Underdogma is the non-thinking gut reaction that in any given issue, whichever side has less power, the underdog, is automatically considered righteous simply because they have less power. And whichever side has more power, like America, is automatically considered wrong simply because they have more power. It doesn't matter which side is actually right or wrong. All that matters to those who practice Underdogma is which side has less or more power. And in the book, I show you how this Underdogma, it shapes many of the issues that shape our world and that you talk about. And I answer the question, why is it that some people embrace American power and American exceptionalism while others feel the need to bow down and apologize for it? And then finally, I give readers a way to intelligently and systematically defend the idea of American exceptionalism and fight back against those who want to cut America down to size.
I think the world, by and large, should hit its knees every night when it prays to whoever it prays to, and thank God that we're the guy with the big stick. Because I'm trying to think of any other country. Hey, England had it for a while. Watch Gandhi. That can get ugly. I'm trying to think of any other country that would handle this, and not perfectly, but as classily as we do. Can't come up with anybody.
Well, this morning on Fox News, a member of UK Parliament said, when America bows down and apologizes for its power, it frightens America's allies, and it emboldens America's enemies. Right? The reason why I wrote this is because, while some Americans feel the need to bow down and apologize for America's power, America's enemies have a far different view of power. I mean, I just quote them in their own words. Osama bin Laden described the way they look at power this way. He said, when people see the strong horse and the weak horse, by nature they will like the strong horse. That is precisely the opposite of Underdogma. And, Mark Stein, one of my favorite writers, he writes about America's demographic disadvantage to its enemies. They're having more kids, we're having less. But with Underdogma, those who practice that are putting America at a philosophical disadvantage to its enemies by championing the weak horse and demonizing the strong horse. And that's why I wrote this book, just to lift the veil on this, frankly, suicidal belief system that's eating away at America's desire to be number one.
Well, I think we come off as a gelding as of late, if to use another equine term. I really think that the people who, well, put it this way, when we went to Iraq, we needed to hit that reset button on sticking it out because we had so botched it the time before when we flew the coop and all the good people were sitting there going, whoa, all of a sudden I'm the only person fast dancing at the wedding reception. I look like an idiot. They all got whacked as soon as we split the scenery after Gulf Storm 1 or whatever. And I think we just had to reprove our staying power to people this last time. I think it was important for people who were being bullied to know that when we showed up, we weren't splitting right away and giving the bully full access to, beat their heads in.
I'm like you. I believe that the world is a better place with America being the number one power and feeling that power and showing that power. Charles Krauthammer, he's so generous. He did an interview for my book, Underdogma. And it's one thing, for America's enemies to think badly of American power, or America's competitors, or even the United Nations. But now we have the president. Here's what Charles Krauthammer said in my book. He says, America has for the first time a president who preaches to the world that America is not intrinsically good, not intrinsically exceptional, that we've been corrupt since our beginning, so we necessarily would want to curtail the power of such a country. It's one thing for some protester kid in the street to think that way of American power, but when it reaches the White House, the consequences are dire.
Yeah, it's mortifying. We're talking to Michael Prell, author of Underdogma, How America's Enemies Use Our Love for the Underdog to Trash American Power. Hey, Mike, I'm an adherent to American exceptionalism, but I must say there are times I can't exactly nail down what has caused it. I think part of it is the understanding you can go as far as you want if you hustle it, and part of it used to be if you didn't want to hustle it, you were going to fall behind. We're starting to eat into that that tenet a little. What's your feeling? Why American exceptionalism? What's the historical or the organic source of that?
Well, I believe,
Back away from your phone a little, Mikey. I'm getting a lot of feedback or something.
Sorry about that. I believe that America is exceptional, and it's not just an opinion, it's a historical fact. I mean, look throughout history. All the great societies, the Greeks, the Romans, the Brits, they had thousands of years head start in America, and America blew past them all real quickly. And the reason is because America was built on exceptional founding principles that work, as evidenced by the fact that America is number one. And unfortunately, the president himself, when asked if he believes in American exceptionalism, he dismissed it. You know, last week was Ronald Reagan's 100th birthday, so I went back and I listened to his farewell address to the nation, and he warned us about this. He said the culture, it used to be in American culture, you know, you always got this sense that there was something special and something great about America. If you didn't get it from your parents, you got it at school. If you didn't get it at school, you got it on the block. And if you didn't get it from there, you got it in the media, from television and radio and movies. And Reagan said in 1989, the culture was lost, but at least in the 80s, America had a president that fully embraced that idea that America was a shining city upon a hill. And he warned us of an erosion of the American spirit if we didn't hold on to that. Now, fast forward to today, and the culture's still lost. You can't watch a movie that doesn't say America sucks. But what's different now is we have a president who, when asked if he believes in American exceptionalism, he dismissed it. And that is frightening for America.
Yeah.
I believe that the world is actually a better place with America being the number one power. And one would hope that the president would share that view, too.
Yeah, the fish rots from the head down, and if the big guy's not real proud of it, who is going to be proud of it? Reagan worried about the erosion of the shining city on the hill. And it seems to me Barack just wants to erode the hill, so we're all down in the valley with all these other loserville countries. All right, Mike Prell, sounds like I got a funky line, baby, so I'm going to have to cut you a little short here. But it sounds like a hell of a book. I went in a little skeptical thinking we just had cute wordplay, but I like the sound of the book, and we've just got a bad connection. Underdogma, How America's Enemies Use Our Love for the Underdog to Trash American Power. And the premise now intrigues me.